Alright guys, so eventually we can't use the video for the full movie because unfortunately for that, the video apparently does have like a copyright claim. It was actually a copyright claim from the video, from the full movie. Unfortunately for that, we can't show you that one. So eventually, since I do have the movie on the Google Drive, and I wanted to thank Michael for sending the video, the full movie video, even though this access really denied. I just thought to myself, I should never ever give up to myself. But since I've already watched the full movie of Nahuel and the Magic Book last Friday, which is actually from YouTube, apparently what I was going to say is that the movie was definitely great. It was a great way for me to watch it after school, because basically I am physical from Monday and Thursday, and online from Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday. Even though I was online for like around 5 days in a week, but then it just changed to 2 days physical, 3 days online. So eventually what I was going to say is this. So on Friday, because of this, for the only exception, I'm going to be at the school, and apparently my friend and my teacher are asking me to join. So this is actually like kind of a YouTube session where we probably probably film ourselves. Okay, so now that is done. Now that's done. Okay, the next thing. All right. All right. So why I decided to cut the video very short? Well, because actually I did a 1 hour and 30-minute video. It did not work. It did not went well. It did not go smoothly. Even if I want to premiere the video this Friday, because it will be my last video discussion of the Nahuel and the Magic Book summary and discussion series. So eventually, what I was gonna say is that since the movie's actually on Google Drive, it's actually on Gmail, but fortunately for that, it is no longer on YouTube. So you've been wondering, do I really show the footage of the video? No, of course not. I would never do a thing like that. Okay, so you've been wondering about this kind of question. Would you think I really showed the Nahuel and the Magic Book video on this YouTube channel? No, I do not. Now, the reason why is it actually does belong to the director, and I'm not allowed to use the video. So I didn't want to get myself into trouble, but eventually I did look at the pictures without listening to it. So if you think I was the one that stole the videos and the footage from this kind of thing, then I did not. I did not do this thing. Alright? Okay. Now you've been wondering about this kind of question again. Would there be a 10 or 15 minute video on the full movie? This one actually does depend, it depends actually. If we can do for 10 to 15 minutes for the short summary, can. If we do it for 30 minutes, can. 40 minutes also can. But this one cannot exceed more than 1 hour. So I would just say that we could go over the limit. We can go from the video for 50 minutes because I'm not really going to show the footage, right? I'm really not. Okay, now you've been wondering, why do I use pictures in order to help me remember right? Well, sometimes I don't know things really well. I sometimes tend to forget, sometimes I really tend to forget. It doesn't matter what movie or what show I'm doing or what kind of thing I'm gonna try to do, but it helps. It seriously helps me to remember, because I know one time from my experience, I tried remembering things which are bad, and this did not go too well. It didn't go very smoothly. So you've been wondering for this kind of question, why am I not really going to use videos for this kind of thing. I can't use that. I cannot, because this one, I would normally consider this as what my English tutorial teacher said. It could be copyrighted, and apparently her prediction was actually correct. And to say for that, I told the truth, and I did say I did not steal the footage from the creator, and I also did not try. I did try to record the video, and I did try to use pictures to help me. So you've been wondering, like, why is it like going to help me? Why is the picture going to help me? Is it going to help me to memorize? It can help me to memorize at some point, but the thing is, you just have to be very, very careful about what you're uploading. Like, said this, like, as long as you like don't use like any of the footage right here, like that. Alright, I tried justifying with the creator. The creator says it was okay for me to create the video, but don't do it with the footage, because I will get into serious trouble right now. Alright, I'm very sorry for that one, which was being caused on Tuesday. I'm so sorry about this inconvenience. I apologize, okay? I apparently don't do these kinds of things, don't do those videos that much. But even though, if it's seriously like that, I would just normally consider it to be copyrighted for the video. So eventually, what I was gonna say is it's okay to like upload the video, but you cannot use like other people's work without permission. And I just say that it's very, very illegal. It's like really illegal in this site. Okay, so eventually the question goes like this: why am I not really going to do like a 1 hour and 30-minute video for this last finale for the Nahuel and the Magic Book discussion and summary series? Well, the reason why I'm not going to do these kinds of videos, which is 1 hour and 30 minutes, is because one time I did upload it, but it's definitely a fail. The video was a fail already. It was totally a fail. So I promised to myself that I would never use this kind of thing again. So eventually, even though if I never stole anything, I still had to justify with the creator if it's okay if I don't want to use it. And I think the creator did agree for me to not use it, so eventually I would never use these kinds of things. Alright, but without saying or so, let's not waste time with the summary and discussion. Wow, that was actually a long talk, okay? Okay, so here it goes for summary. We're gonna only do like a short summary. Like, I'm really gonna try my best. If it's gonna be 30 minutes, it is gonna be 30 minutes. If it's gonna be 40 minutes, it's going to be 40 minutes, but it cannot exceed to more than 50 minutes. 40 minutes is enough, so eventually, I'm not too sure if it works. If it cannot work, then I'll just stick to 10 to 15 minutes. But anyways, let's just start with the summary, okay? Okay, so it all started 11 years ago when Antonio and Consuelo were actually going to the hospital to give birth to their son. Unfortunately, the storm gets very, 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 very high. It gets really, really rough. The waves are very, very strong. Antonio decided to power off the ship in order to see what his wife was doing. His wife was about to give birth to Nahuel. She panics and has a fear of losing her son. So eventually, he gives her this locket, and it really signifies love, fear, and joy to family. Consuelo thanks him for giving the pendant to Consuelo. So after that, they both had a hug with each other, and this actually does remind me of the time in the last moment of Carl and Ellie before Ellie dies. She apparently hands Carl her adventure book, just in case if they want to, just in case they used it, like they use it. Okay, so the next thing is when Carl and Ellie did say goodbye, Carl apparently said his goodbye to Ellie one last time, and then Ellie dies at just an old age. But this is actually similar to the time where Carl and Ellie did say goodbye to each other. But unfortunately for that, Costello apparently gives birth to Nahuel. She struggles and struggles and struggles until her baby Nahuel was born. Unfortunately for that, Costello dies of a childbirth after she gave birth to Nahuel. We could apparently see that Nahuel was crying due to childbirth. Alright? So eventually we go through the title, and then we go through like everything, including the school, the boats, the streets, the beach, anything. Alright, so apparently I did see a calendar. So the calendar apparently did say June 6th, June 5th or 6th, 1997. So eventually, what I was going to say is that this place does take place in the summer of 1997. So I don't want to really get myself into trouble, but I'm going to say this. So if Nahuel and Frisha was actually 12 or 13 years old, if we minus the year which is current and then we minus the age, then we can get 1984 or 1985. It could mean that Nahuel would have been born in 1984 or 1985, and Frisha same day as well, same day. Alright, now that's done. Let's move on to the next part. So the next part we can apparently do see Nahuel, who's actually now 12 years old. He tries to go on the boat, but he's scared of the water. Somehow, he grabs his stuff and wears his hoodie, but he is surrounded by the bullies. So the bullies wanted to literally push him off for being dead. They want him to be dead. So after Nahuel struggles and struggles to get away from the bullies, Nahuel starts to cry, and he starts to not wonder for himself, like, should he really do it or should he not do it? So after that, Nahuel escaped, but Kofaro and Rafaro both fell into the water. So after that, in the market, Nahuel eats an apple. He gets this dozens of eggs from Sir Don. So you've been wondering, Nahuel did run a little late to his father. His father was very, very disappointed for having a son. So eventually, Antonio ordered his son to go to the market to get some eggs. So eventually, I think this is the wrong part, so I'm just gonna... This is actually the correct part that I really said just now. So after Antonio gives the money, Nahuel goes into the market to buy some eggs for school. So Sir Don apparently does give him the eggs. Like, he gave him the eggs at the market. And then he sees Sir Hilda, who is actually he's like a handicraft person. After the eggs were done for pre-order, Nahuel finally goes back home. But again, he was actually surrounded by Koforo and Rufuro. However, Rufuro wants to eat his fries, but his friend drags him into wanting to literally push him off. Like that, like wanting to push him off. Okay. Here's the thing, alright? So after the bullies just run and run, somehow they could not catch up to him, and they probably just gave up for catching Nahuel. However, Nahuel accidentally spills the eggs and breaks it. Not knowingly, he would have just got the eggs on time, but he didn't. So, what happened next? When Nahuel just got off the truck, he apparently just thought to himself, is his father really going to scold him? Well, I don't know. So he just runs into a little cat who seemed friendly at first, but Nahel actually does drop the keys. Eventually, what I was going to say is that when the cat was playing with the keys, the cat takes it. Nahel tries to chase the cat. He goes into an old abandoned house and finds the key. He gets spooked out by a spider and, not knowingly, slips and falls to find the Levisterio, which is actually known as the magic book. He then reads all the chapters, but unfortunately the guardian of the house tries to catch Nahel for coming into the house. After the guardian escapes, Nahel escapes from the house, goes into the bus and begins reading. But once he got home, Antonio was very angry at Nahel. He apparently did try to send Nahel to his cousins and his aunt if he doesn't do it. So eventually Nahel goes to his room. He summons the giant spell onto what he was supposed to do. But then it did work. So the next morning, the father and the son apparently goes for the fishing duties. Nahel jumps onto the boat, not knowingly he was going to get hurt, but he didn't. So after that, he and his father did a lot of those works. Nahel had to help his father in order to become a successful fisherman. Okay, so this is actually the part right now. It's the beginning part. Now we go to the middle part. Now the reason why I'm doing this short summary is because we don't want to make this thing too long. Otherwise it's going to be a mess, okay? Alright. So after Nahel and his father had done a lot of these kinds of work on the fishing duties, Nahel and his father takes a break, and both of them do drink their hot chocolate. Well, I'll just say it's hot chocolate. I just do believe it's coffee, maybe it's tea, I don't know. I would just say it's brown in color. But unfortunately for that, a storm of crows and a storm of Kalku's crows comes and begins to attack the ship. The waves become stronger. Nahel gets scratched by one of the crows, but Antonio saves his son from being scratched. However, there was a big storm, and the boat was broken into two whole pieces. Nahel tries to swim to his father, but the storm is too strong. Separating them both, Nahel screams to his father, but he gets washed up on the shore. So, eventually, what I was going to say is that it's very, very, very heartbroken to see Nahel's father getting kidnapped by Kalku. Anyways, let's go to the next part. Alright. I'm going to say this thing in my own words, alright? After Nahel finds himself into the secret island, the hidden island where Frisha and her grandmother, the Hencher, live, Nahel asks where he is, and eventually the Hencher did say that she was at the house. Alright. So the next thing I wanted to say is that the Hencher ordered Frisha to give the herbs to Nahel, to give the herbal drink to Nahel, so he can have his energy. So eventually, Nahel thought that the Hencher and Frisha are the bad ones, but they are not really the bad ones. They're actually Mesomanian Michis. Okay. Once Nahel puts onto his hoodie, the Hencher noticed that Raikwen was actually cursed by Kalku, and Kalku actually did order Raikwen to get the book from the boy. So after that, Hencher had to fight with Raikwen. Raikwen was defeated, but Raikwen did fly away after the Hencher defeated her. The Hencher used a smoke bomb and bombed the house. But once that was done, Nahel and Frisha immediately ran to the forest to set out for the night. So during the night, Nahuel was collecting branches to make the fire. And once that was done, Frisha shows him her magic fire stones on how to do it. Frisha does it for the first try, but Nahuel on the other hand accidentally uses the fire stones and hits on the Chibliu, which is actually a half pig, half beast. The Chibliu actually begins to chase the kids, but Nahuel falls down, not knowingly he was about to get killed by the Chibliu. So after that, Runde, who was the wolf that was cursed by Kalku, saves the day and protects the kids. The kids set out for the night while Runde was actually asleep. So Frisha asked those questions on why did Nahuel did steal the book and why was it to impress his father. Nahuel asked those kinds of questions. It's to impress his father and it's to overcome his fear of the sea. But somehow it never worked out very, very well. Okay. The next morning, the kids traveled to the forest along with Runde. Frisha, Nahuel, and Runde apparently did pick up apples once they stopped on their break. But Runde did pick up a rat. Like wolves can really eat rats. Well, it's kind of a reference for that. Alright. So after that, they went into a small house where they required to be a waiter and waitress. So eventually, once the job was done, the Chon comes in and bets Nahuel with the riddle. But once Nahuel had solved the riddle, Nahuel won and the Chon had to give the book back. So what happened is, Frisha was so proud of Nahuel for doing this kind of bet on that. Alright. Okay. Once the nighttime comes, Frisha was sleeping. However, she had a nightmare about Kalku. She thought that she was going to die is because Kalku was about to brainwash her, But in the morning, Frisha wakes up with a nightmare. She was actually in panic, not knowingly what to do with Kalku. But Nahuel actually announces that the stereo has been missing. So he asks like an owner to help to find his father, who was kidnapped by Kalku and the crows. Frisha wanted to go, but Frisha had to be left behind. But Runde, on the other hand, he apparently went with Nahuel. They went into an old abandoned house where this guy who ate the fish and drank the wine lived. After that, the guy was actually a nice guy, so eventually he told Nahuel to dream and dream and dream and dream. So eventually he sees his mother on the boat, but the storm gets very strong. Nahuel starts to cry, not knowingly he was going to drown. But his mother encourages him to be brave, and she gives him this locket just in case his father needs it. But once that was done, Nahuel and Runde race back to find Frisha. He then apologizes to Frisha for leaving her behind. Frisha accepts Nahuel's apology that he will not do this thing ever again. So after that, the kids see Raikwen. Raikwen ordered the crows to attack the kids, but Runde came to the rescue and tried to stop Raikwen from doing all these kinds of stuff. So after that, Frisha and Nahuel were surrounded, but Frisha ordered Nahuel to go to the lighthouse to save his father. So Nahuel apparently did run into like the old abandoned lighthouse. He went there and somehow Nahuel was happy to see his father. However, his father was apparently brainwashed by Kalku. So before Nahuel was actually taken to custody, we could see that Antonio was the one being stuck on the sea, but he was in the jail. He saw Kalku, and apparently what I was going to say is that Kalku did brainwash him. So after that, his father had threatened to kill Nahuel. But once But once that one failed, Antonio had a look onto the locket. Not knowingly, it was his wife that she had from her childhood memories. So eventually, Antonio starts to cry. Not knowingly, he misses his wife. So eventually, what I was going to say is that in the middle of the part, he will not talk about his wife because his wife died and they both had a toxic relationship. But in the end, Nahuel's father did improve on himself. First of all, in the beginning, he was a jerk. Second of all, he was not a jerk. He was actually a great father, but also really, really strict. Alright, so once the spell was broken, Antonio hugs his son, and his son apologizes. So eventually, Nahuel's father apologizes to say that he was the one that mistreated his son very, very badly. So after that, they went to find Kalku and his crows. So after that, they tried stopping Kalku, but Antonio was dragged by Kalku's dark magic and threw him down. Nahuel starts to cry, but he also starts to wrestle with Kalku. So Kalku was the one wrestling with Nahuel. However, when Freesia comes up, she sees Nahuel being thrown to the ground by Kalku. Even though she tried to use her fire magic stones to save Nahuel, but he was thrown into the ground. So eventually, when Nahuel was thrown into the ground, Freesia tries to save Nahuel. However, she is dragged by Kalku's magic. Freesia notices Kalku and she got very, very shocked, not knowingly that Kalku was apparently in her dream. So after that, Kalku's dark magic did lure her into the sea dinosaur. However, Freesia screams in agony that she is in trouble and Nahuel has to save her. But Nahuel trips on the wire. He tries to pull the liver down before Freesia gets eaten alive. But then his father comes up and they both do it together. But once that was done, Kalku begins to melt due to the lighthouse's light. But after that, Nahuel ordered Freesia to run before the dinosaur eats them. So after that, Kalku was defeated by the sea dinosaur, but both of the kids fall. Antonio grabs his son's hand. Unfortunately for Freesia, she tries to grab Nahuel's hand but loses balance and falls to the water. After that, Nahuel had no choice to save Freesia, so he dives into the water and saves her. But once on the first try, he apparently swam to save Freesia. So eventually, on the first try, he couldn't. He was unconscious and out of breath. But he thought to himself he would never give up. So then after that, he began to swim. He grabs Freesia, and then the sea dinosaur apparently brings them up. Nahuel starts to cry a bit, thinking that Freesia was dead, but she wasn't. Freesia actually coughed up the water, and she was conscious again. Freesia wonders where she is and what happened to the Listeria. So the Listeria was actually destroyed when Kalku was defeated. After that, Nahuel decides to hug Freesia, that the magic is no longer here. After that, Antonio reunites with his son, and Freesia and Nahuel both watch the sunset. Suddenly, Braquin and Runde were turned back to normal after the spell was broken. And eventually, they had their very, very first bond with each other. In the next couple of weeks, Nahuel and his father decides to go to the island to see Freesia, her grandmother, Runde, and his wife, Braquin. Quancelotsu was actually the boat's name, and because of this, the boat was actually destroyed by Kalku in the middle of the sea. So eventually, his father Antonio steers the ship, and Nahuel wanted to try. So eventually, Antonio had guided his son on how to steer a ship properly. But then after that, Krisha waves hello from the distance, and the both of them had decided to play in the water of the beach. Antonio was gleefully happy until the hencher called them it was time for lunch. So the hencher was actually serving cheese arepas, I think bread, I think stew, maybe some kind of like Spanish food, I don't know, hot chocolate, maybe coffee, or maybe I don't know. So eventually, Nahuel raises Frisha to go have lunch. And so both of them did have a great lunch together. Both of them were friends. And as well as this, Antonio was very, very happy to have his son talk to Frisha, Runde, and Raikwen, including the hencher. And so both of them had a fun day together, and both of them really did enjoy themselves on the day at the beach, when Nahuel wasn't even afraid anymore, because he overcome this fear and he noticed the water is actually not a monster. So eventually both of them did play happily and had a picnic together. And that's all, and that's the summary of the story. Okay guys, so what are my basic thoughts about the movie? So basically, on the thoughts of Nahuel and the Magic Book movie, I would just say that this movie apparently teaches kids on how to be brave, how to be strong, how to overcome your fears, especially if you don't want to try things. Like, people are afraid of the water, people are afraid of insects, people are afraid of the dark. Any kind of phobia can really happen to people, but you just have to overcome your fears. So I would give this movie like an 8 out of 10 because the movie was actually good. It can teach like children on how do you overcome your fears. Like I said before, here are some tips on how you can overcome your fears. In order to overcome your fears, just remember, you are not alone. Many people are really, really scared of things. So it's better to encourage them. Don't be afraid. You can do it. You can try your best. It doesn't matter if you're afraid or not, but it's important to know the boundaries, like where are you going to go through this, Okay, I'm very sorry if I had to do this video for at least like 30 or 40 minutes. I would just say I already passed that limit, like that. So eventually I think we're only allowed to do the 40-minute limit, okay? I don't know if it's great or not, but I think it will be okay, or it will be fine. Or we can just go through 35 minutes. It will be fine. Alright, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry for all the inconvenience caused. I know this is actually the final episode, and this is actually the series finale of my Nahuel and the Magic Book discussion series. So there are actually 10 episodes altogether that you guys can really, really watch. They actually do have summaries, discussion videos, salutes and everything that you can apparently find in the video. But apparently guys, like, don't take this one way too seriously. If we're gonna add like more of the summer videos, which I actually included from last year, I can. So I can actually make it 12 or 11 or 12. I'll just make it into 12. So eventually it's up to me to do that. I'll just say I'm fine with it. So eventually there's no mess, no stress. Okay, I want to apologize to Michael and the creator for this. Even if I'm not going to show the footage, it's fine. I know you guys have been wondering why I really don't want to do this kind of footage, like why I really don't want to show like the video while I'm doing it. I just say it's maybe okay, but as long as you don't use the footage, okay? Alright, I don't want to get myself into a lot of trouble, but eventually I did learn my lesson, and I apparently just thought to myself, is it right or is it really wrong? It's not wrong, but you have to be very, very careful in order to do these kind of summary. Check to see if it's okay first. Alright? But anyways, I think that's all for now. And I think this could be the series finale of the Hell and the Magic book. So I think that could be all for now. And this is me, Huey the Tomboy Gamer, signing off.